Hi, my journey of surviving a toxic family. My father was always remained as an absent father in my childhood, but in during the teenage years, due to the war, I ended up being with my father for 2 years, and I think all my life, my father died when I was 33. And during that 33 years, maybe 3 years altogether, I think my father was present in my life. And my father's funeral really liberated my soul. My mother, who acted or who still acts like a very holy woman, she's a Christian, a prayer warrior, a preacher, everything. She is in the church. But she's not the same person within the four walls. She has passive aggression. She has mood disorder. She is a manipulative person. Controls us a lot in a very subtle. She cries. Her one of the way of her way of manipulation is she will cry, and she has anger. But anger she will show also in a only to those who are close, like she never expressed anger in a public place. So for me, it was so obvious about my father because he had verbal abuse, and very emotional, because he put me down, humiliated. Like, even when I became a medical doctor, he will still sing the same song, that you don't know anything. So it was so obvious. But with my mother, it was very confusing because everybody praises her. And for me, I felt it's wrong and so much of lies. And she loved my brother more than me. But the blame was always on me. Everybody believed in my mother. So the relatives, nobody, I couldn't talk. And even if I say anything bad about my mother, they will say, she's your mother. And also, they will praise her because all what she has done to them. I was 8 years old, and we lived with our uncle at that time. And whenever we visited our village, she will carry all kind of gifts, presents to all the cousins and relatives over there. But she never buys anything, and that was like my first hurt in my life. Like, even when I lived with my uncle's house, the cousins over there whom I lived with, they will get like praise. I was always compared with them. And one of my cousin, who was 4 years older than me, and she always wanted me to compete with her. I was five when my cousin, who was 9, bought a piano and went to piano class. Then, at the age of 5, because my cousin bought a piano and she was going for piano class, so I was also sent for piano class. So it was too much because the competition I was going through was the cousins who are older than me. Because at that time, my mother's side, my mother was the youngest, and I was the youngest grandchild for my grandparents until my brother showed up after 9 years. So the first 9 years, like, all these big cousins, if a cousin becomes a doctor, I also have to become a doctor. So it was a very, very, for me, I don't know how I survived through everything. And somehow I was managed to break and leave her. But it was a journey. And I used my wedding, was my first time. I didn't invite my family at all. So with my ex-husband's support. I was able to move myself. Actually, my wedding was an escape from my family. But again, as I was married, my mother got into my life again and she started to control. And my ex husband also wanted me to be close to my family and my. So he's another manipulative person. But so then I failed in my marriage, and then it's like going and coming back, going and coming back. So then I got close to my like that. And 2015, when I moved back with my mother and my brother after my father passed away, my brother asked me to leave house. So that was a wake up call for me, and I'm like, wow. So for me, until that, I didn't understand the weight of my family dynamics, and I didn't do anything wrong for me to leave. But he said, it's, you have, it's enough. You have to find another place. So I moved out. So since that, I tried my level best to keep the distance, make the boundaries. So after that, I never went back into his house to stay, but I was going back to visit. Then there was a time somebody was coming for a visitor was coming, and my I was there. I visited them, and my mother said, "You have to leave now. We have visitors now." That was the most painful thing in my life, and I didn't know how to handle it, what to do. It was so painful. So then I again, it is my mother. I felt like, okay, whatever happens, then again my mother said, you can't even come to the building. So I always stayed outside the house and talked to her. So then I said, okay, and it's enough is enough. I didn't attend to actually, my brother invited me for his wedding, for the reception. But unfortunately, he didn't invite me for the church wedding. And my mother said that they only invited the close relatives. And I asked a question, who am I to you? So it was so obvious, but I failed to see the difficulties or the toxicity in my family, and I was so blind. And now, when I look back, everything, it was so obvious from the childhood. I was living with the toxic family members, but I failed to recognize that. My father left some inherited money, and a particular amount has to come for me. But my mother forced me to give the signature for her to get it. So that was the first time I fought against my mother, and I got my share. They threatened me. Honestly, the threats I get from my family is so big. Sometimes people can think how a mother, your own brother, can do such a thing in life. But for money, they can do anything and everything. So I passed through that threats. Then again, I found out my mother sold one of the, tried to sell. Actually, she has not sold it, but she has tried to sell one of the land in our village without my signature. I really got my feet on ground to say it's illegal, and I really have to stand and claim my share. And honestly, not a single family member supports me. I'm all by myself on my own. And for my family, it's all about money, fame, and also keeping everything look nice. So they don't care what is truth, what is needs to be done in a right way. They keep quiet. And also there is always so much of emphasis that she is your mother, and also she is like a mother to us also. She also created trouble not only in my marriage, um, with my with family members. Uh, i i especially with my father's side, I didn't have that, to go and ask them. And also my father passed away, so what is the point of being with them? So I just also disconnected them because I needed peace. It's too difficult for me. And friends, even there were two classmates of mine who were friends of my mother, and she always manipulated through them. And all I have is to block them, because so I kind of, I really keep so much distance from the classmates or anybody connected with the school, because it is one way for her to manipulate me through them. So keeping away from those people really helped me to continue my journey. It is honestly, not everybody is aware of what was happening, how they are used to manipulate. Because one time, suddenly a classmate called me, and she said, I need, can I put my children to, I need my daughter to get some help. And I was kind of, suddenly, why, you're calling me? So when these kind of things comes, I just have to block, or I have to leave, because I can't trust anybody. Because the friends I have, foreign friends, Sinhala friends, it's more safe for me, because I know I'm not, it's hard for her to come through them. But the Tamil friends, especially the village, from the school, from the relatives, they, I can be in trouble anyway. And many times I was advised from different people, don't eat anything which is given by your mother. And that is one of the hard part, but that is the real truth. So, toxicity, we don't talk. We talk about domestic violence by the partner, but we never talk about the toxicity by the mother. But sometimes the mothers are monsters who want to destroy the children's life. And um, so I wanted to share this, because there might be, so I'm not only one, there are so many women like me who are going through, but they don't have the voice. So I wanted to be the voice to help them to understand this. Thank you.